Coming up in the Bahamas tonight, a major player in the FNM is off the candidates list tonight, and the PLP ratifies its final four as the stage is set for election 2012. Some positive news about the economy at long last. Ahead, hear from the State Finance Minister about forecasts into 2014. And hear details of an apparent suicide in the port of Nassau yesterday. Those stories and more straight ahead in the Bahamas tonight.
Covering the islands of the Bahamas, ZNS Network presents The Bahamas Tonight.
This portion of the news is brought to you by McDonald's. McDonald's, I'm loving it.
Good night, everyone, and welcome to the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report. I'm Keishla Adderley. Topping the news tonight, the Free National Movement was locked in talks for much of this afternoon, expected to emerge with its slate of 38 candidates for the 2012 general election. But already a major announcement has been made about an FNM frontliner who will not be on the ticket this election. Deputy Leader of the Free National Movement, Brent Simonet, announced late this afternoon that he will not be contesting his St. Anne's seat. Prime Minister Ingram told a press conference today that Mr. Simonet has been instrumental in a number of changes which have promoted growth in the country. Our Shanique Miller has more.
Come for me to leave the front line of politics.
And with that, Deputy Leader of the Free National Movement, Brent Simonet, says he will not be offering for re-election in the St. Anne's constituency or any other constituency. Simonet has served as MP and Cabinet Minister in tourism, immigration, foreign affairs, and as Attorney General. He's also served in the Senate. Prime Minister Ingram, who admitted to feeling badly about Simonet's decision, said his contributions to build a better Bahamas will be lasting.
Brent has presided over the elimination of Bahamians having to fill in a form to return home when they travel abroad. You know, we used to have to fill out an immigration form to come back home.
Getting visas to go to Europe.
That Bahamians don't need any visa whatsoever to go to Europe. We've done the electronic passports. We have eliminated visa requirement for the entire Western Hemisphere, all 34 countries, except in 3 countries.
Mr. Ingram admitted he knew of Simonet's desire to leave frontline politics for the past 2 years.
This is not a sudden decision on Brent's part.
As for Simonet, he will remain Deputy Leader of the FNM until the party's convention and Deputy Prime Minister until the election. His role as of now?
I shall be one of the team of coordinators who will manage the campaign for the Free National Movement to be returned to office in the upcoming general election. We look forward to the cooperation of all our colleagues in the FNM, in St. Anne's, and across the country as we seek to continue to provide competent and accountable government for the Bahamian people, particularly in these challenging times of global crises.
When asked what he wants his legacy to be, Simonet answered,
That I've helped contribute to the good government of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas.
Now, immediately following the announcement, Cabinet Ministers spoke with our Clint Watson about how they feel about Mr. Simonet's move.
Key factor in the Free National Movement's political machinery, particularly at election time. In fact, ever since entering frontline politics, the area he represented was always considered on lockdown to the FNM. Now, as the party prepares itself for battle, he's bowing out, something that's bittersweet for his cabinet colleagues. State Minister for Finance, Shavago Lang, talked about his admiration for the Deputy Prime Minister.
I've been thoroughly impressed with the Deputy Prime Minister in my serving with him over the last 4.5 years, and I found him to be a genuine person and someone who can be absolutely trusted to execute the teams, the organizations, the government's mandate.
While some might question whether a general in the FNM's army like Simonet stepping aside right before an intense runoff could have a negative effect, Education Minister Desmond Bannister puts it this way.
It weakens us in one constituency, but it strengthens us because we have all of that experience now in the coordinating team that's going to be coordinating the election itself. That is going to be wonderful because I remember as a first-time candidate trying to find the kind of support that he will bring now to some of our new candidates.
And with a strong support from his constituency for more than a decade, Labor and Social Development Minister Dion Folks is confident they will maintain that support.
Having a particular or one person representing the white community around the table is neither here or there. It is the policies and principles of the Free National Movement that has caused not only the white community but also the black community in the Bahamas to support us.
And with the new face of the FNM continuing to emerge, time will tell what the final product will look like, and that'll happen in a matter of minutes in this room behind me. Clint Watson, ZNS News.
Meantime, the Free National Movement plans to unveil its slate of Grand Bahama candidates on Sunday. According to the party's official website, there are 3 new faces. They are businessman and former president of the Grand Bahama Chamber of Commerce, Peter Turnquest, for the East Grand Bahama constituency, educator and basketball coach Norris Bain in Marcos City, and ZNS television anchor Pakisha Edgecombe is the FNM standard bearer in the West Grand Bahama and Bimini seat. Meantime, incumbents Nico Grant will contest Central Grand Bahama and Kwesi Thompson in Pine Ridge. The Progressive Liberal Party has ratified its entire slate of election candidates. The process was completed at the party's Farrington Road headquarters last night with the final 4 nods. They are Dr. Perry Gomez for North Andros and the Berry Islands, Picewell Forbes for Mangrove Key and South Andros. In the Nassau Village area, Dion Smith and the Progressive Liberal Party leader, Mr. Perry Christie, explained that selecting potential candidates began right after the 2007 general election and was accelerated after the party's 2010 win in the Elizabeth by-election.
In the process, we had over a year of consultation with branches and persons who live in communities so that we could really rest assured that we had done sufficient work in consulting them and that we could be, as a party, convinced that we had the best persons to bring forth to the National General Council.
Now that the Progressive Liberal Party has finalized its list of candidates, Mr. Christie says it wasn't easy choosing those candidates for each constituency as individuals of strong character submitted their names to the party.
Right up to this morning and this afternoon, I was meeting with a family who believed that their family member was the best person for that constituency, who felt considerably aggrieved by not being selected, but who I called upon their commitment to the PLP and to say to them, rise above it, because we are in a position to form the next government. We will win the elections.
Now that the Progressive Liberal Party has finalized its candidate slate, the party officials are preparing for the election campaign. The leaders of the opposition spoke with our Altavis Munnings last evening on the way forward.
And the Bahamas needs a government now that will not only just build roads and dig harbors, but will build optimism, build hope.
And in order to become an effective and efficient government for the people of the Bahamas, Progressive Liberal Party leader Perry Christie, Deputy Leader Philip Davis, and their team have already mapped out a 20-year vision they hope will resolve a number of social ills, including crime and unemployment.
We are of the view that until such time as we are able to fix the crime problem, any efforts that we have, however grand, however achievable they may be, achieving them will be daunted and more difficult.
The country needs a minimum of 30,000 jobs. There is no national conversation at all about where those jobs are coming from. We have been examining potential sources of employment. And we know, for example, that one of the most intimidating circumstances facing business development in the Bahamas is the cost of energy.
Opposition leaders ensured that each candidate selected knows how to propel the party's serious and innovative election platform.
We are imparting, through training of our candidates, these messages to ensure that the Bahamian people get to understand what we're all about, our accomplishments, letting them know that we are a party that gets things done.
Mr. Christie confirmed to ZNS News that he's already chosen his new cabinet. But the big question is, win or lose, will he stay in politics after 2012?
Both the leader of the FNM and the leader of the PLP are at their highest point, all right, and that most certainly from the PLP, that I am characterizing myself and picturing myself so people can see as the bridge to the future.
Altaviz Munnings, ZNS News.
And while lots of attention is on the election campaign, the government is investing in education. Prime Minister Ingram says he wants to see a cadre of career teachers' aides in the Ministry of Education. Today, the Teachers' Aid program was launched with 328 participants. It's part of the Job and Skills Training Initiative, as Shanique Miller explains in this report.
Their faces tell the whole story of the government's Job and Skills Training Initiative. Their involvement in the classrooms already transforming the teaching experience. 3 months ago, Natasha Wallace, a teacher's aide at Columbus Primary, was unemployed and had no prospects for work on the horizon. She admits her only motivation for applying to the program was a paycheck. But today, her story is one of awe and pride.
We want to say a great big thank you for giving us this opportunity. It is a privilege and an honor to be a part of the work program where we can help mold young lives.
The story is the same for teacher's aide Christina Morrison of Palmdale Primary. She says before the program, her future appeared dismal, but now she enjoys the chance to mold young minds.
And if any of you have been unemployed, as I have been, I am certain you can empathize with my situation at the time. Yet, little did I know that this would be an opportunity for me to gain a deeper insight into an invaluable, and I must also add, underappreciated profession.
Now, the teacher's aid program is 52 weeks. The 328 teacher's aides were told that many of them, based on performance, stand to gain full-time employment.
Ensure that your performance, therefore, over the next 52 weeks, place you in good stead for securing one of those permanent jobs that will come your way.
In fact, Prime Minister Ingram plans to deepen the teacher's aid program further at the policy level.
One of the challenges which we face in the Bahamas is that the expenditure which the government makes on education, though huge, is not necessarily targeted. And one of the things we will seek to do, beginning in the next budget period, is to target expenditure in education more so that I will have more teachers' aides than janitors who sit down from 9 to 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And we will delegate to schools more responsibility for their management and get rid of all this unnecessary bureaucracy that exists between education and schools.
Some of the aides expressed the desire to enter the teaching profession, but not all of them. Prime Minister Ingram says teachers' aides is a fulfilling alternative.
We want to have a cadre of professional teachers' aides in the Bahamas who may never themselves become teachers, but who are performing a very valuable service for our students.
Our expectations for you are very high. What you are doing is critical to the delivery of education in the Bahamas.
The teachers' aides are here.
Practitioners are already raving about the program's impact in classrooms. Ulysses Benaby, principal of CV Bethel, says the program was needed to assist in the management and order of the classroom. Shanique Miller, ZNS News.